All right, let's talk about Spencer Rattler.
Ooh, here
He's
we
going to
go.
be in the 2023 NFL draft class. We've talked about a lot of these quarterbacks. Rattler is obviously a polarizing prospect.
Yep.
Transferred to South Carolina this offseason. 6'1", 200 pounds, redshirt junior. Last year, very interesting year. Completed almost 75% of his passes. 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 6 starts. And he also had 3 touchdowns on the ground. We're going to talk about strengths. We're going to talk about weaknesses. But just quickly, some background on him. 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
He was on the Quarterback One show on Netflix. You guys might have seen it. You might have not. Represented himself in, an interesting way.
Yeah.
I think it was
Uh-huh.
it was always a little bit controversial. It felt like a little bit of maturity issues off the field.
Yeah.
He's from Phoenix, Arizona. Has always been known to be an incredible talent. I mean, to be honest, most people thought he would win the Heisman last year. That's the
Yeah. He
kind of
was
talent
100%.
people saw for Spencer Rattler. Played incredibly in 2020 for this team. Then in 2021, really it didn't feel like he could play within the structure that Lincoln Riley had set up. He really thrives on broken plays, and he had 5 interceptions in his first 5.5 games, and then was benched for Caleb Williams. Never started a game again.
Right.
Let's talk about him. Such an interesting prospect. I know that there's a couple different ways that you can go here as far as I think I'm out on him, or I see some potential growth here
Right.
at South Carolina. Where do you sit here? Let's go strengths, weaknesses, film, and then we'll talk about pro comps.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So for me, let's just get into the strengths, okay? Amazing arm talent. He can throw the ball with ease, 40 plus yards. Great athleticism and mobility with he can use his legs. I mean, like Zach said, he's a tremendous talent. Was in talks to be a Heisman winner, coming into
Yeah.
the 2021 season. And I think all those things I just said is fantastic and what NFL teams are looking for. So I'm actually on the side now with Spencer Rattler is with the thought process is that how much does he really want it? How much does he really want to improve? Like it all lands on him right now because I'm on the side
Right.
where I actually don't believe he wants this, Maybe the hype got to him really early.
Sure.
Maybe it was a show with the QB1 school. Maybe he hasn't matured enough. Maybe he's an arrogant guy, whatever the case may be. But I think there's just too much to improve. And when you watch his film, you can see that you can have the talent, you can have the special, the natural ability, but if you don't put the time and the effort in to practice
Right.
your craft, that speaks of volumes of how you cannot be
Mm.
successful even with the talent. So in weaknesses, there's so many weaknesses. He needs to improve in his accuracy on all types of routes, curve routes, fades, flat routes. He tends to miss a lot of his wide receivers, whether they're wide open, quick, easy throws. His footwork is not good at all, in my opinion. He just needs to focus because you can see it at times where he's like, he you can see it when he's on film and he's dropping back and he's doing everything right. And then you see the next play is like, what are you doing? Like, is it that hard? And I'm not a
Yeah.
football player. I'm not a quarterback, but like, keep your mental reps. Do the 1-2 step that you need to do.
Hmm.
He results to always throwing it on his back foot often, which leads to interceptions, which leads to overthrown balls, which leads to underpass balls. It just makes him look very bad here. So, and also his step back, it is not okay. It's not usually like a 3, 4, not even 5 step back. He's stepping back 7 times. He's going back 10 yards essentially, and then trying
Yeah.
to throw the ball. And another thing is, he never takes the easy plays. He's always he's trying to play hero ball. He's trying to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's trying to make every single throw that all these NFL caliber quarterbacks, when you have a dude wide open in the flat.
Yeah.
So that for me are his weaknesses. Am I excited for Spencer
Yeah.
Rattler? Probably not as much as others, but I do
Sure.
believe in the talent. Just does he want it?
Well, to be fair, I don't think many people are all that excited right now. I think that everyone is pretty
Skeptical.
skeptical.
Yeah.
How good are words? Yeah, strengths. I mean, again, if you take out the name, if you take out the ego, if you take out the fact that he was on a Netflix show and didn't really represent himself the way we might have wanted him to, put everything aside and just look at the raw talent here, you have some incredible raw talent with Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
I would say arm talent wise, he's top 3 to 5 in this class. I mean, he can do things with his arm that not many other people can. And even if you look at last year's class, I think he probably has the best arm talent of anyone in last year's class as well. Something that I really like about him is his ability to make the most of broken plays.
Right.
Okay, when he's throwing on the run, that reminds me of a quarterback who is dominating on a Sunday. So I can see some good aspects to his game. However, there's also a lot that needs to be worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, he throws on the run a lot. Like, he really thrives on broken plays. Well, he's also not shown that he can play within a structure. And that's a problem. That's a real problem going into the NFL. Footwork, like you said, not the best. I think he can improve his decision making. He needs to take a huge, huge leap. I mean, all the things that you had mentioned, but also he's not the best at protecting the ball when scrambling or when he's in the pocket as well. So what I look at with Spencer is, man, let's take the name away. Let's take the hype away. Just this football player, there is a real good raw mold, and you could turn that into something beautiful. But it's going to take, like you said, it's going to take a lot of effort from him to really meet you halfway if you're a coaching staff to accomplish that. So we're going to show you some film. I really want to see Spencer succeed this year. I truly do, because you want to see someone kind of get humbled a little bit, see what they need to do better, and then get better at that. I think that's common for all of us.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so let's look at some film here. I'm going to show you 2 plays. Both are from the Tulane game, and this was actually the first game of the season. They were the number 2 ranked team in the country. There was a lot of hype for this team pre-season. And this is a really simple play here, okay? You're gonna see good poise. He's gonna be able to read both sides of the field, which is crucial because we don't always see that in his game. But you can see here he progresses really nicely through his options, steps into the pocket, and kind of on the run delivers a beautiful ball between a really tight window. Okay, so we are in a shotgun formation, 4 wide receiver sets. You have his first and second read here at the bottom of the screen. So you're going to see him originally look towards the left side of the screen, but that's not where he's going to end up. Got his third and his fourth option up top. So the guys again at the bottom of the screen, I couldn't tell you what route they're looking at just because of the shots that we are able to access here.
Yeah. Okay.
But the third read is kind of running a slant in route. Okay. It's kind of almost like he's just sitting right here. And the reason he's sitting here is because these 2 linebackers are going to come back in coverage, and they're kind of right here. So there is a window of opportunity, and it is a very small window that Spencer can throw the ball into. But again, the arm talent, you're going to see it here. And then the fourth option here is running a post, kind of to bring the coverage with him as well.
Right.
Running back is just running a flat, so he's got the running back there as well. Pretty good protection. But again, you're going to see him step into the pocket, throw a beautiful ball, a bullet pass on the run, right in between a window, exactly where it needs to be. So stays composed, looks through his options. So let's watch this one together again. Snaps the ball. He's looking left right now. You can see that. Looking left, it's not there. Now he transitions to the middle of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Really good pocket. Again, you're going to see him step up here. Steps up on the run. Beautiful pass. Right where it needs to be. I mean, you want to talk about some precision. There are moments where it looks like he is incredibly accurate, okay? That ball can only be one place. You mess that, couple inches, it's an interception. So it's a beautiful, beautiful throw. And now I'm going to show you a play that I did not like as much. Okay. Again, this is versus Tulane. And this was actually, I believe, his second play of the season in 2021. This was literally his second play the entire year. And this is an interception. And I almost wondered when I was watching his film this year, man, that's a hard way to start out. Against Tulane, you're the number 2 team in the country. There's a lot of high expectations. And Tulane's not really a team that you should be
Exactly.
struggling to win against,
Right.
right? And on the second play of your season, you throw an interception. Really terrible decision on this play, okay? So again, we're in shotgun formation. And we have 4 wide receivers on the play. At the top of the screen, both wide receivers are pulling right on a post, okay? So both of the wide receivers here, and I think the intention in this play, again, I say I think because I wasn't in the meetings or anything, but I think the intention in this play is to bring all these defenders kind of to the right side of the field.
Right.
And the reason I think that they're wanting to do that is because the slot wide receiver here is kind of running a little wheel route. I'm not sure if I'm actually even saying that route correctly, but it's almost a wheel route to a go up to the left side of the field. And the idea behind this play is that these defenders, again, are dragged to the right side of the field, which leaves Mims, which he's a really fast wide receiver, one-on-one in some favorable coverage, okay? Then you also have the wide receiver here at the bottom of the screen doing a comeback. And then we've got the running back. This is a very complex play. And then the running back is coming out of the backfield, and he's kind of just flat right over here, okay? Now, it's not necessarily a lot of pressure on Spencer here, okay? It's only a 4-man rush. I would say the offensive line, it holds up really, really well. And you talked about this earlier, Badake, but this is a terrible decision. You're going to see terrible footwork here. He doesn't go to the wide open options. He decides to force it into coverage.
Yeah.
And it's clearly a terrible decision.
I think I know
but
this
he's
play.
not able to read the field
man.
and see the wide open options. So you're going to see the running back here when I show you this play, wide open, tons of space available, as well as the comeback, but he wasn't looking that way.
Yeah.
He forces the ball to Mims here, and it's an interception. And again, you're going to see some terrible footwork as well. We're going to take, I don't even know how many steps backwards. Not good form, not a good pass, not throwing in the kind of motion that you would want to see from your quarterback. So let's go ahead and watch this play again. So again, you're seeing these wide receivers already pulling to the right side of the screen. Mims is about to start running his wheel route here. And again, let's just look at Spencer with me for a second, okay? As we start this play, look at this footwork. Look at how many times he's dropping back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And
right?
then he throws off his back
what
foot
are
there.
we?
And then you throw off the back.
Exactly.
Well,
Terrible. I mean, this is not good pocket presence here. And the pocket is not even collapsing in on him.
Exactly.
Stay strong in the pocket. But again, what I wanted you to see is Spencer, what more do you want? You have a linebacker on your running back in the flat, and there's no defender in sight. This is wide open. You guys might not be able to see it here, but you have the comeback wide open as well. But again, we are not reading the play at all. I mean, how much more open does he need to be? I mean, there is so much space for his running back here, but he decides to make a terrible decision, throws into double coverage, and it's an interception on the play. I'm going to show you one more angle here. Okay. So again, same play, no need for me to draw anything, but you can see he's pretty much already got his eyes on one part of the field. He wants the running backs over, or the wide receivers over here to pull, and he wants Mims to be open. All right. He's not looking anywhere else. And he's also, look at this. Like, what are we doing? We're like flat footed here. It's not good. Okay. Again, we're not looking anywhere else. We're not even looking at our running back. And we decide last minute with no pressure in our face to throw a bomb and it's intercepted. So again, like you said, bad decision making, doesn't take the open plays, doesn't give what the offense is designed to give him, kind of forcing plays.
Exactly.
Man, there's a lot of talent, but you're right. There's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah, a lot of work needs to be done. I guess I'll jump into my film, guys.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring a play where I believe he knew what he wanted to do. He just didn't execute it the right way. I think he understood the defense. He understood what was happening in this play specifically, but it didn't. I think there was a a combination of miscommunication with the wide receivers, maybe not knowing his route, or him already knowing, but he still couldn't execute it because of his fundamentals. He let that go. The I guess his steps. So you see this route here, the slot wide receiver is just gonna run up, kind of run out to the edge, right? This wide receiver, I believe, is supposed to run a straight, just go straight up. But what he does, he comes and does a quick, I guess you can call it like a
comeback.
Yeah, comeback play, which then brings the defender back to him.
Yeah.
Right? The pocket is going to be fine for Spencer. But once again, he is not going to look anywhere else besides his slot wide receiver. He knows exactly where he wants to put it because the defenders, he realizes these guys are playing zone. They're not going to move at all. The slot wide receiver is just going to run straight out past these defenders, and he knows he has them wide open. Once again, I'm not sure if it was a mental mistake won by the wide receiver that also kind of contributed to this play to fail, or it could have just been Spencer, him not understanding the step back timing to where he could have like counted 1, 2, 3 and then launched it at the right time, or however the count. I don't know how it works, the counting, to be honest. I'm not an NFL quarterback or college quarterback, but the thought process is there's a counting process in his head that he needs to take. And if he would have taken that counting process, this would have easily been a completion. But it actually results in an interception. Okay. So you're going to see him. We're going to snap the ball here. And then he's looking at him the whole time. Look, you see this? There's nothing else he's looking at there. He's just looking at him. Mm-hmm. He's waiting for the defenders, and you can see the defenders here in the flat, right? So
yeah.
And then the footwork, he's going to throw off his back foot. He's still right there. Right, that's where he wants to launch the ball off his back foot. You can't see the defender anymore. But if he would have counted that perfectly, then I think this would have been a first down without a doubt, giving your wide receiver a chance. But then you see it here, throwing off the back foot and then tip pass interception, right? It kind of happened really fast there. Yeah. So interception, essentially. So number 3 picks it off. I'll give you another angle here. So you'll see it. You kind of see the commentator kind of draw a circle here. He's doing the exact same thing. Once again, up left. This wide receiver comes back, which brings the defender up. So you'll see that. Right there. See, look at that space. If he's watching that wide receiver throwing within the bubbles of the zone defense, you need to throw that before he even breaks out of his route. Do you get what I'm saying? He doesn't have the anticipate the route coming your way if you are watching him run that route. So boom, he could have just easily threw it right there. He would have the opportunity. But also, once again, a combination of either the wide receiver, this other wide receiver coming back.
This play just doesn't make sense for this to be designed.
Exactly.
To be in the same space on the field. So someone ran the wrong route.
Exactly. So then you see him come back, and then just right there, kind of like the commentators doing it. I'll draw another circle so we don't get copyright, hopefully. Right there, if he would have thrown that ball with anticipation, knowing, I think this play still would have been successful, even though the wide receiver ran the wrong route. But once again, resulted in an interception. And then
the hard part about that one there is, can you go back to where the wide receivers are in the same spot? The hard part about that is it actually, if both receivers do exactly what they're meant to do here, this is a completion. Exactly 100%. How we threw it, right?
100%.
So there's a couple problems there because obviously you need the chemistry with your wide receivers, but also you need to be able to realize when a play has broken down and their window is no longer there. So essentially, I mean, this number 11 should have pulled that safety, and that should have been a completion. But you also have to have the IQ. We've talked about that. The mental processing, it's not as quick as you want it to be.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate.
It's definitely tells a combination of a lot of things. But I think in the result, if he was smart enough, understood the play, knowing where his receiver, at least his slot receiver, which I feel like that's exactly where he wanted to go, to place that ball and time it perfectly, still wasn't successful there.
And NFL quarterbacks are able to make those adjustments. Yeah.
And I'll show you another play
on the fly, in the play.
This is the good play. This is versus Texas. This is probably this is last game he played in this season, and kind of like Zach's play. He actually doesn't step into the pocket. He runs outside the pocket, throws it on the sideline.
He's great on the run,
and it's a completion essentially. So you see the pocket doesn't really collapse. He just runs around. So I'll show you really fast. This wide receiver is just going to continue to run a straight, I guess kind of like a post outside. The pocket kind of holds up here, but instead of him running up this way, he runs around, and then he just throws the ball. He throws the ball to his wide receiver on the outside there. Once again, the pocket doesn't necessarily collapse. He could have stepped up, gave himself time, but I guess, since he does, maybe he knows that's his strength. He can run and throw on the run, which gives him the opportunity to make plays like this.
Right. I remember this play, I think.
So you kind of see him right here. Boom. See, the pocket's fine. Pocket's fine. This is where the step process and with his feet is not terrible. So he took like 2 steps. He's already prompting to take the step up and to launch the ball. But I'm assuming since the wide receiver needed some more time, he gave him more time by running on the outside. See, he's sitting in the pocket, which is fine. He's seeing he has a lane here, whether he can either run or he's going to curl out, which you see him do that there. So then he's just going to run. And he has all the time in the world here. And you see him throwing the ball. Just need to pause for a little bit. Huh. And then...
I got a lot of time.
Yeah. A lot of time in the world. Throw. And then a great throw, which results into a catch. And then that's a first down for him. So this is what's so confusing. Just hold like, why can't we do this every time? And I know it's hard. Once again, I'm not an NFL or college quarterback, someone that plays football, but like, I don't know. It's just like, it's repetition. And I'm assuming like he's at the gym every day. He's learning his plays. I'm assuming it's an everyday thing. Hey, Spence, especially when you're in practice. I'm pretty sure in practice, the quarterback coaches, all right, let's do our counts. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like,
I would also say that NFL, like, they like to see this play, that he has the ability to scramble, but I think maybe GMs would have liked to see him stay in the pocket there.
Yeah.
It's an incredible play, but also it was a dangerous play as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But he made something good out of it, so.
It's a good...
Even on the highlights, it's like, I'm not sure the NFL loves every part of that play.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be honest with you. I was trying to actually find the whole game because I'm not sure if that's a completion or an incompletion.
It is. I remember this play. It is a completion.
I was trying to find it just to even say it, but if you know it, that's great. To him just throwing the ball there. And, I mean, just an even better catch by the wide receiver to stay in bounds, catch it on the sidelines. I wish I had another angle for you guys, but there's a lot of good and a lot of bad in this Texas game. You see him...
a lot of bad, too, yeah.
Yeah, you see the glimpses of greatness where, like, dang... That's Spencer Rattler. Yeah. This is the throws that he can make. This is how he can process it. And the same time is like, what are you doing? Like, it's bad. But yeah,
it's definitely some mental mistakes. And then this is the game where Caleb Williams takes over for him and has the comeback. And All right, so we showed you guys some film. Do you have a pro comp for us? Because I've only seen people compare him to Pat Mahomes. That was before this year, and that's obviously an incredibly, like, way overdone. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
I don't know if I have a comp for him that I can think of off the top of my head. Do you?
I don't have a comp, but I was looking for it. I did see Patrick Mahomes, but I don't see Patrick Mahomes.
Same.
I'm trying to think of a smaller quarterback, but with his talent.
He is smaller as well.
Let us know.
All right, he is my quarterback 8, by the way, in this class. Quarterback 8.
Right.
Where does he stand for you?
He's my quarterback 10 in this class. So
quarterback 10.
I believe in talent. I just don't know if he's going to be that guy,
Sure. No, makes sense. It makes sense. Well, let's see what happens. Why don't you guys comment down below. Let us know what you think. Okay, and if you have hope for Spencer Rattler's career.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.